Hello, my name is Mary. I would like to show you how I built this box, why we needed one, and why you might need one too. Quick demonstration of the need for a box. Your kitty cat is going to fall right off. Look at this. Can't stay. It's going to fall. That's not comfortable for anyone. Get yourself a box. Everyone's comfortable. You could sit like this all day. Yeah? Should we go build this box? Let's go build the box. I was given a few parameters. Solid dark wood, lid that opens, rough size and shape. I had the perfect material in mind. When we moved into this house about 2 years ago, the previous owner had left behind a ton of his possessions. This was one of the many, we'll say, treasures. Pretty sure this is mahogany, so I definitely wanted to use it for something. Although I'm not great with wood species, so feel free to correct me in the comments. It wasn't in great shape, as you can see, and we didn't really have a need for a 4-foot round table. Now, there will always be some hiccups when trying to recycle materials. When I cut along the original seams, I found that they had been slotted for splines. Now, after that, I avoided all the seams, but I used an 1/8 inch offcut just to cover that one so I didn't waste this piece. This happened to be the widest part of the 4-foot table, and if I had recut it, it wouldn't have been long enough to do what I wanted to do, which is miter all these and have continuous grain. May not be super clear, but if you look closely at the grain, you can see that it matches up on these 3 sides, and the only one that does not match is this one. So the way to do that is to cut all from one piece, miter them, glue them together, and then there will only be one that won't match up. worried about the strength of this box at all when I was gluing the bottom on. The sort of friction fit edge glue thing worked perfectly. I used little 1/4-inch spacers to hold it off of the table and kind of just held it in place, pushed it down into the right position, held it in place until the glue dried. It's plenty strong. Nothing heavy will ever be in this box. And if it breaks, it's a simple fix. Another thing I wanted to do was have the lid flush with the top of the box. Now, this miter was a little tricky. So the reason I ended up cutting these parts after I assembled was just because if you look closely at this miter would have been pretty fragile. So it just made the most sense to assemble and then cut. I could have done that in a number of ways. I could have cut it with a handsaw. Any kind of saw would have done it. I used my mini table saw because it was just easy to do that. Even though it is a mini table saw, it still packs a punch. That's a pretty powerful little saw. And I still needed to be really careful. Cutting things after they're assembled makes them a little bit unwieldy. I used blonde shellac flakes and denatured alcohol for the finish on this. Kind of like how it's got some defects still. This little burn mark stayed. Got some, it's not a defect at all, but like the variation in grain color, I think looks really nice. I did add more coats of finish to the outside surfaces as I did to the inside. I think I only put one on the inside, which was plenty for anything that will ever be in here. Gimme! Once again. No bugs. Horrible. Max. Hands free. Amazing.